Hello, hello. Welcome, friends. My name is Lynn, and my video today is part of an Oso inspired collaboration hop. This collaboration is organized by Call Me Crafty Al here on YouTube, and today we are all inspired by Heidi C. She goes by Stampin' Heidi on Instagram. And if you want to check out her original card that inspired all of our works today, you can expand the description box below and you'll see a link to it. And her card is really cool. It's got this really fun background made up of different leaves. And what I thought was actually kind of neat, really brave of her, is she used a lot of fall colors, but she threw in a very pinky kind of magenta color, which I thought was just really awesome. Never would I have thought to do something like that. So really, really love her card. And the thing that struck me when I saw it was the leaves. And so I pulled out this Better Press club from Spellbinders. It's from September. And actually, this press plate is actually part of a registration system, Better Press registration, where you can actually configure all of the press plates to create a really lovely leafy background, which for whatever reason isn't the direction I wanted to go in. Even though Heidi's original card did have a very leafy background. But I decided I wanted to go in the opposite direction. And instead of being very bountiful with my leaves, I'm actually going to aim for clean and simple. Something I really struggle with because I never know when to stop. And I tend to like cards that are interactive, that pop up, that move, that shake, that, do all the things. And so that's why clean and simple is such a struggle for me. But I have to remind myself to try it. And because I feel like the only way I'm going to get better at it is if I actually practice at it. And with clean and simple, I kind of feel like because there are so few elements, it's worth the time to kind of get them right. I was initially thinking I would do maybe a cluster of 3 leaves because in this Better Press set, there's leaves of various different sizes, and I thought that little cluster would make it look nice. But I'm resisting that urge and I'm going to keep it really simple, just the 1 leaf. But on this second one here, I am going for a little bit of an ombre. So the first one turned out great, but I thought, well, what if I try to ink this up so that it feels more like the leaf is turning colors? So I inked it up with Tuscan, a Better Press ink, and then around the edges, I sort of brushed the edges with clay, which is slightly darker. And look, that's what I got. I think it turned out great. I really liked how that turned out. It was a little bit too light in the center, I thought, so I'm gonna give it a 3rd go because, like I said, with clean and simple, there's not a lot going on, and so I feel like every element really has to, especially this being the main and only focal image, really has to be just right. And so it's worth and trying it a couple of different times to see which version I like best. And for this one, I'm trying to go with a little bit more of the clay around the outside, and I really focused on getting it very, very inked up with a lighter Tuscan color initially, because it felt like on that first on the second panel I might have missed a little bit. And so what I was inspired by from Heidi's card is really just the use of leaves. And one of the things that's really fun about this monthly collaboration is to hop along and see how everybody else was inspired, because we can all look at the same thing and be kind of moved in a different way to create. And so I'm always very curious to see what everybody else does for their video. So if you're equally curious, expand the description box below and you'll find a link to a playlist where all of our videos have been collected. That way, if you like to watch them all back to back, you can. You can easily toggle YouTube to autoplay, and so when one video ends, the next one will begin. And also, if you're not sitting down and binge watching them all back to back, you just need to remember the link to the playlist, because then you can come back and easily see which videos you've watched, which you haven't watched yet, and it's really easy to see how many left to go you have. So I love that we're doing collaborations as part of playlists more and more, and it's a great way to kind of explore and find other designers as well. So if you're new to my channel, welcome and thanks for hopping by. And if you're a regular on my channel, I really encourage you to continue to hop along and check out the other collaborators on this hop. So I am just going to press out some sentiments. Now I only need the one. This Better Press plate set actually has 3 different sentiments, but there was one very specific one I wanted to use, and I didn't want to just press out the single sentiment on an entire A2 panel. If I'm gonna run it through, I may as well press out more sentiments. So I found an older plate. I love these. I love the ones that have a single plate and a boatload of sentiments, and then you have a single die to cut out all of those sentiments. So fabulous. And since I inked this up in a nice rich dark brown, the actual color name is Bark, it's going to be very easy to use that on other cards as well. And so love getting all of my sentiments in just a couple of passes already cut out. I just keep them in little baggies, and when I need a sentiment, I can just pop one of these on. Really simple. Now, the one that I am using, which did come with the Better Press Club, it does have a coordinating die that it really just cuts out a rectangular sentiment banner. So it's not a close cut, and that way it can work for all 3 sentiments that come with this set. And so now that I've got all of my pieces, it's just a matter of figuring out which one I actually want to use. And as it turns out, I actually ended up using the second one that I did, where I thought maybe it was a little bit too light in the center, but I think the contrast is actually kind of nice. And I feel like somebody who's better at clean and simple would be okay with with leaving that panel just as it is, but I feel like it needs a frame, it needs a little bit of a border. So I'm going to use that clay color, which is the outside of the leaves, and I just inked up my actual card base all the way around. And I'm going to trim this cotton card panel down so that it will fit and still reveal a little bit of a thin border of that card base. And I think one of these days I'll have to work myself up to leaving, all of the white space and not having it framed, but I really like it better with the border. But I know I've seen plenty of really nice, clean and simple cards that don't have a frame, don't have a border. They're really clean and simple. I'm getting there. I'm getting a lot closer to it. But actually, I was actually thinking of matting the sentiment banner, but I resisted that. So there's a look at my final card. I think I'm getting better at this clean and simple business. I hope you agree, and I hope you enjoyed my video today. Don't forget to expand the description box, check out Heidi's original card that inspired all of us today, and also check out that playlist and see how everybody else was inspired by Heidi this month. Thanks again, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.